What's up, you bunch of GP? We find ourselves here, nestled in the Smoky Mountains at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And join us today. We'll show you around the park, and that way when you and your family are planning a trip here, you'll know your way around. Of course, as you can see, directly across from the entrance, we have a nice photo op section here, complete with the Dollywood logo right in front of the Show Street Palace Theater. If you come in and go to the right, you'll see the beginning of the main midway.
Yep. You got a bakery, a couple shops.
You can grab a park map from right over here if you so choose. Hopefully by the end of this video, you won't need a park map, because you'll already have an idea of the layout.
Quick fact about this bakery on the right side, you can actually grab cinnamon bread if you didn't get any at the grist mill, and we'll show you that later.
That's good to know, because those lines at the grist mill can get long, so that's a little insider tip. Above here, you won't see this all year round, but typically early in the season during springtime, they do have this lovely umbrella array kind of spread above the midway, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, right now they're doing the Flower and Food Festival, so they have they got some food trucks parked around.
And you will see seasonal things like that depending on what time of year you come to the park. They will have things fitting for that season.
Right. At the time of this recording, this is in April, so springtime. They have a summer event, a fall event, and of course winter. So
tons of Christmas lights. That's something to behold. So we find ourselves here at kind of a crossroads. If you are to go straight and continue down the main midway, on your left, you will see a sweet shop with gourmet apples and fudge and taffy. On down that way is the Front Porch Cafe, which has a lot of home-cooked things. But we're not going to go that way. Just know that where we will end up, we will rejoin right down there. But we're going to choose to go to the right and show you all what's down in this section of the park.
Up here to the right, you can grab a time saver pass on those busy days. Help skip those lines. You got a gift shop on the left coming up here called Dolly's Closet. It's another nice gift shop. You can grab some mementos.
A really fun attraction, currently closed at the time of filming, but it's often open. You can actually go to Dolly's Home on Wheels, where they'll actually let you on her bus. You will see what life was like on the road for Dolly, which is pretty cool. Also, one of the main shows here, Chasing Rainbows. It kind of retells through songs the story of Dolly's life. All right, we have over here the Pines Theater, where you'll have some different rotating shows. Right now it's Kate and Corey, but those rotate out throughout the year, and you see some really cool musical acts. Over here you've got Red's Drive-In, burgers, shakes, and fries. Pretty much standard theme park fare at this location, but delicious, and themed to a 50s diner, which is really cool. This whole area actually kind of gives you that old-timey Americana vibe.
Yeah, this area is known as Jukebox Junction.
Aptly named. And sold right out of an old Airstream camper, you can find Dippin' Dots. Who doesn't love the ice cream of the future? And then we come, of course, to one of the major highlights of this park, especially if you're a coaster enthusiast. I don't think it needs any introduction. Lightning Rod.
Yep, RMC 2016. Started out as a topper track wooden coaster, now converted into iBox.
And we also have the Rockin' Roadway. I'll just take you back real quick and show you. It's the kids' cars. As you can tell, they're themed to very old-timey, classic American cars. They don't make them like they used to. We also have an alternate entrance here to Red's Drive-In Diner. It really is one of the larger dining locations in the park. A lot of seats in there.
Classic burger, fries, shakes.
For anyone born after the 1980s, that is a telephone booth. You used to actually have to go to one of those to call people.
Yep, and actually have to hit the numbers to dial.
So as we kind of exit the old 50s area, we see one more glimpse of the Rockin' Roadway kids' cars. We go over this lovely little creek here.
This area is known as Rivertown Junction.
And we come across the entrance to Smoky Mountain Rampage. That is the River Rapids ride here at Dollywood. And just in time for us, you'll see some folks flying by. And I would say on a scale of drenched to just kind of wet, this falls somewhere in the middle. This isn't one of the wettest rides you'll ever get on, but it is, you will get splashed. Got a little drawbridge over there, or suspended rope bridge, should I say.
Yep. We'll be coming back through that area once we visit the kids area, which is called the Village, and we're heading there now. That's to be straight ahead.
For any of you smokers, they do allow smoking in the park at designated areas such as this. All right, as we head back on down, we have one of the outdoor amphitheater performance areas where we currently have some live music being performed. I should note this is a fairly light attendance day. You'll tend to see these seats pretty full on an average day.
Up here you have signage. To the right you got County Fair, the Village, Heartsong Theater, Mercantile, and the Train Depot. And to the left we're going to come back through, visit the Gristmill, Valley Theater, of course Wild Eagle, and is farther up, as well as the Tennessee Tornado.
For now we're going to head right. And that'll bring us to our first pedestrian railroad crossing. They do run a train here at Dollywood. And that train goes around a good portion of the center of the park. You can get some really cool scenic views from that area.
A fun fact to the left, there used to be a tunnel that sat here. Now it's just a pathway.
Over here to the right is the patio for the pizza spot. This area specifically is kind of themed around the train depot, which you can see over here. We have some folks lined up that are getting ready to load onto the next train. This place is called Iron Horse Pizza.
This is the area called the Village. To the right, that takes you down to the County Fair, which we'll go in a minute.
Yep, we'll just show you around the Village for the moment. This one's cool. This kind of draws some vibes from the Old West, the times where the most popular method of travel was the train over very long distances, and over shorter distances, a horse. And speaking of horses, we do have a classic carousel.
So back when this park was called Rebel Railroad, all you really had was a saloon, a theater, and a steam train, and it is a real steam train. And also a blacksmith shop. And they built it out from there, changed its name to Gold Rush Junction, eventually Silver Dollar City.
I missed the
and then Dollywood.
I missed the show.
Oh, sorry to hear that, buddy.
Really?
We have Heart Song Theater right in front. Some show times coming up here in a few. Looks like they do a show about every hour. They try to. This gentleman just missed the show.
Yeah.
I would tell him to come back in about 45 minutes.
Politely interrupted me. That's okay though. But like I was saying, this was built around an old steam junction railroad. They built up around it, had a blacksmith shop, a couple trinkets here and there. They had a theater, and then they developed it even further out. They renamed it Silver Dollar City, Tennessee in '86, and then when the Rivertown Junction and Smoky River Rampage ride opened up, then they changed the name to Dollywood. And that's when Hershin and Dolly Parton collabed and made it official to name it Dollywood.
And ever since then, it has seen exponential growth over the years and great success. This is a park where it's not uncommon to find people of all ages, both young and old. There's something here for everyone. You've got thrill rides for the thrill seekers. You've got this area we're about to enter here, the country fair, caters a lot more to the kids. And then you've also got even for people that have kind of past their prime for taking on a lot of G-forces. You got a lot of shows and a lot of food and tons of shops. So that helped the appeal of this park for all ages. But yeah, in the true spirit of a county fair, or country fair in this case, you'll find all your midway games where you can play for prizes. And then nestled towards the back, you got a few really great flat rides for the kids.
Yep.
The first one we come upon is the Shooting Star, which is basically it's your basically your first drop tower you'll probably ever go on if you don't meet the height requirement for some of the larger rides.
A unique flat ride on the left. Planes that go up and spin you around.
And we call that the Sky Rider.
Got a classic scrambler to the left. Has some swings.
Classic swings. You got a midway market right over here where you can get some soda pop and popcorn, ices, and all the good stuff. Got a couple of other kids rides to show you back in this corner. The first one is the Piggy Parade. Bunch of cute little pigs that just go around in a cute little circle for the kids. We've also got the Lucky Duckies. They're even equipped with steering wheels to give the kids the sensation that maybe they're in control, which can always be fun. And then you've got the Busy Bees. And this one can actually raise its arms and lower its arms, giving the kids their first little taste of thrills. Off in the distance, you can see the Sky Riders are up in the air. And yeah, that's one of the more, that's a model you don't see often, so it's pretty cool to see that one in action. Well, we'll go ahead and head out of the country fair now. Okay, so now that we are into uncharted waters, we'll take you over by one of our favorite places in the entire park, and all of my travels, one of my personal favorite places to eat, and that's Aunt Granny's Restaurant. All you care to eat. Now, pre-pandemic, this place was in fact an all-you-can-eat buffet. However, now it is more family-style service where you can order 2 or 3 sides. They'll give you enough family-style bowls of those sides and those main dishes for everyone to kind of snack off of at the table. And if you eat all of that and you want more, they'll bring more out until you tell them to stop. For the value, it's fantastic. That's some of the best, in my opinion, some of my favorite theme park food that I've ever had. It's a restaurant quality food.
Now straight ahead takes you back into Rivertown Junction. We'll go through there. You can get some food over here. They have fish and chips on the left, steak sandwiches on the right.
And those alternate out, so they may not always be that. They actually will change, but they usually only serve one thing at each side. You'll kind of see here as we go into the market square, you can order either from that side or from this side.
All right. Coming back out into the junction.
If we were to go back that way, we would be at the Pines Theater and Red's Drive-In, where we previously were, and that way is the entrance. This is the way we're going to take you next. And as I mentioned previously, this is a pretty low attendance day. So keep that in mind depending on what time of year you're coming and what day of the week you're coming. Because this place can get much, much more packed than what you may be seeing in this video. You'll see a lot more of the food and beverage stands. The little satellite ones will be open, whereas in this video you may see some things that are closed. But just know this park is very, very good at managing crowds, and they will open up things if need be. Not a lot of terribly long lines we've ever waited in over the years at this park. They really pay a lot of attention to expediting customer service and hospitality. One of the reasons we really, really like this park. We've got mountain blown glass here. You will actually see people blowing glass ornaments. And you yourself can actually be taught how to do it yourself. Now on down the hill there is where we just came from. Off in the distance there is the train depot and the country fair kids area that we were just in. We are now up on top of the hill here, and we're heading towards the Barnstormer.
Yep. This area is called Owens Farms. Owens Farm.
And this does have kind of a homestead feel to it as you walk into this area. A lot of these places, there's a lot of attention to detail in the brickwork, woodwork, rockwork.
One of the main attractions here is obviously Grist Mill. This is one of the entrances. Right now it's closed, so you would have to use the lower entrance.
They typically don't open this side of it unless it's like super, super busy from what I've seen. Typically, and we'll show you in a minute, but down on that side, on the front side of the building is actually where you'll enter to get your world famous cinnamon bread. And if you've never heard of the cinnamon bread, we'll tell you all about it. It's delicious, it's hot, it's fresh, and it has a reputation for being the best for a good reason. That cinnamon bread is delicious. Here we have Barnstormer in action. This is an S&S Screamin' Swing.
One of the smaller models.
Yeah, definitely one of the shorter ones. However, nothing to shake a stick at, as they say in the South, because this thing is intense. And when it's at its max height, you will be facing straight down at either the top of this roof or on the other side. If you're sitting facing the other way, you're facing down straight at the ground. It's a fantastic ride. We've got a little playground here off to the left as well. The Little Pilots Playground. You got a little ladder and a slide. It's all shaped like a little farm plane, which is pretty cool. Another set of conveniently located restrooms. Another thing that a lot of thought and care has been put into in this place is places to get a drink and places to use the restroom. Here again, another designated smoking area off to the side for those of you that were wondering about the availability of those. Now we're back onto the main midway here. This section of the park is where you'll find a lot of the really cool like wood carving, glass blowing, and just shops in general.
And this area is called Craftsman Valley.
So as we come out this little outlet here, we've got some vintage signs on tin and wood. We've got leather and hats down in this area here. You've got a couple of signs here as well that you can purchase, little yard signs that are hand painted. Just some really, really cool down to home type of things. And this brings us down around towards the front side of the grist mill. This is the main entrance where you can guarantee yourself a piece of cinnamon bread if you come in this entrance here. And you'll see it right there. Typically, you would notice it well before that doorway because you'll see a line going all the way down past this water wheel here, all the way almost out into the midway. There's almost always a line, but as I said before, this is a light attendance day, so it's unusually quiet. Another really unique thing about this park, they actually have a real blacksmith on duty at any given time. They actually have several blacksmiths that work here. And they'll make anything from wind chimes to signs to knives to hardware. There's one of the gentlemen in there now. Pretty quiet day at the blacksmith shop. But yeah, these guys are legitimate metal crafters, and it's really, really impressive to see them heat that metal up and pound it out by hand. Very, very cool. Now we come up to the Robert F. Thomas Chapel. Every single Sunday at 11:30 a.m., as you can see on the sign, they do a Sunday service here. Not a lot of theme parks in the United States you'll come to where you can actually attend a proper Sunday service. And as you can see there, it says everyone is welcome. It's just really, really interesting thing to see. An actual church in the middle of a park.
I don't think you can find that in any other theme park. I'd be remiss to say. Haven't seen it anywhere else.
I haven't seen it. I could be wrong. If you all know of another church in a theme park, please drop it down in the comments. We come to some more signage here. As you can see, where we have just been is the area of the Gristmill Train Depot, Lightning Rod, and Show Street Theater. As we continue forward, we will encounter Blazing Fury, Tennessee Tornado, Wild Eagle, and Wildwood Grove.
I'm in the bathroom. Where's the restaurant? I think somewhere down
Real quick, I think worth mentioning is just walking back here. This is another one of those little outlets that's just kind of off the beaten path, but there is an attraction back here, and these are the log flume. This one is called Daredevil Falls. Hopefully I've timed it properly and we'll get to see someone coming down without waiting too long. Here comes a boat now, actually. Oh yeah. Actually a pretty steep, pretty high drop for a log flume. Not the craziest one we've ever seen, but cool nonetheless. Also, as you exit this area, got some candles. Handcrafted candle shop. We are going to continue on down towards the back of the park. And we approach Eagle Mountain. This is an exhibit of non-releasable American bald eagles. So these are eagles that have been rescued, whether they were injured or even possibly had birth defects. These are eagles that are deemed non-releasable into the wild because they probably wouldn't make it. So they give them sanctuary here. And they have educational shows to educate the public about the plight of the bald eagle. And you can see them kind of off in the distance there. And also we've got some in this enclosure here that are a little bit closer. And as you can see, they've even got their names and the color coordinated leg bands to look for so you know which one's which.
Fun fact, there's an actual YouTube channel that has a camera, like it's a bald eagle camera that's located in this park, so you can watch the birds.
That's actually really cool. I did not know that.
It's a live Dollywood bald eagle camera.
Another fun activity for the family and the kids, you can do some local gem mining here. As you can see, they're pouring their bags of silt into the water there. As it washes away the silt, it will reveal some cool gemstones that you get to keep, whatever you find. You purchase your bag, whatever you find in there is yours. This is the amphitheater. There's not a show currently, but this is where you would find the bird show. This is actually some of the birds here. These are the Wings of America show birds. As we move on down, you can see we've got a turkey vulture. black vulture. A couple of black vultures. We've got a red-shouldered hawk. A Harris hawk. There he goes, hopping around. An African pied crow. And there's a desert eagle owl, though he's not in there right now. But that's just an example of some of the variety of birds that you'll see incorporated into that show, and it's cool. It's a good show. We've got an old-timey schoolhouse off to the left.
Calico Falls Schoolhouse.
Yep. And it looks like it's open and ready to teach. Just kidding, there's a little iron gate there. But you can look inside and see just kind of what an old-timey schoolhouse would look like. Okay, we come to another of their major attractions here, Blazing Fury.
This was built in '78, and it was built by the park's construction crew.
Yeah, so there's no major manufacturer associated with this ride, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It essentially starts off as more like a dark ride. It's technically considered a roller coaster because at the very end of the ride, there's a little dip where you disengage from your power source and you coast. So that one last part makes it a roller coaster, but for all intents and purposes, it's safe for all ages. As long as your kids meet the height requirement, this one is not overly scary. You're kind of going through like a mining area. It's a little dark, but it's not scary. One of my favorite decorations in the Midway, you've got an old stagecoach just kind of stranded in a tree.
A twisted tree. Speaking of twisted,
you will find in this area things are kind of out of place. And why have they been displaced? Well, it looks like there's been a tornado in Tennessee, and this is the roller coaster that's themed to it.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Tornado.
So this is pretty much the tip of Craftsman Valley, the top of the park, and the top of the circle. So we have reached the midpoint. A couple facts about Tennessee Tornado. It's designed by Alan Schilke. It was built in 1999 by Aerodynamics.
And it was definitely late in the company's existence. And it's one of the smoother aero coasters that we've encountered. It is kind of known a little bit for its brevity, but more than that, it's known for just being super smooth and just a wonderful, wonderful layout. I mean, for what it lacks in length, it makes up for in just packing in the elements and the thrills. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous roller coaster. It's super smooth. And hopefully we see it around for years and years to come. Also back behind here, just in this little alcove, we've got a little food truck park. And right now we've got 2 food trucks parked out. These food trucks will alternate from time to time. So this one right now looks like it has Greek food. This one looks like it's got some sweets and treats, some pretzels, some cotton candy and what have you. And then there's also a permanent food stand back here. Just to make sure you can get some treats, even if they can't get a truck out that day. We'll continue on around here. No shortage of Midway games in this area. We've got the water gun target game over here. And as you can see, looming in the distance, Fire Chaser Express, a Zaire tire launch family coaster. This one, definitely kids can ride. It is a family-friendly coaster. Not super thrilling or intense, but I should note it is built on the side of the mountain, so there are certain parts of the layout that are very, very high up. However, this is a ride where you're not going to find a lot of big drops. There's no inversions. You don't go upside down or anything like that. So there again, you know, a pretty kid-friendly ride, as long as they're not too scared of how tall it is.
This was built in 2014. According to RCDB, it's actually built by Gerschlauer.
Oh, did I say Zaire?
Zaire.
Oh, damn it. All right. This is a Gersty.
That's all good because we know who made Wild Eagle, which is the next one.
That's right.
Right on our left.
Once the kids graduate from the lighter thrills, they want to ramp it up just a notch, just past this gorgeous iron eagle here. Handcrafted metal eagle. Another great photo op spot, by the way. But over here you'll find Wild Eagle. This is a B&M wing coaster. You can kind of see it in the distance here, ascending the hill. This one definitely turns up the thrills just a bit. Although one of the lighter wing coasters, I would say, of the ones that I've done. And I think it's a good midway point from a kid's coaster here to something like Lightning Rod, which would be the most intense coaster in the park. All right, we have a Firehouse Fun Yard. It's a little kids area. There again, because this park does cover a lot of ground and there's a lot of hills, and this park understands that a lot of little legs can get tired very easily. So there's a lot of spots for them to rest, for the parents to rest. If they've got a lot of energy, they can work it out in this little play area. There again, just very well thought out areas here. Got a volunteer supply company, firefighter themed merch shop. Some more food over here. Branching off, we've got some food trucks. So another food truck plaza. At the time of this filming, like I said, these food trucks aren't always the same, but this one is seafood and pretzels, respectively, at the different trucks. But that's part of the fun of this park with them starting this food truck plaza program, is that you get a little bit of variety every time you come to the park. You get to try something different.
They actually call this part of the park Wilderness Pass.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous. This is just a general place to kind of sit down, maybe have some food, let the kids run around, get a little mist from the fountain on a hot day if you sit right by it, and just kind of relax, recharge, unwind. You've got a little lodge here as well, so on a hot sunny day you've got rocking chairs and benches in the shade, which is nice.
Plenty of photo ops here too.
Many, many family memories have been made in this area for sure. And then of course, as you can see by the signage, located very conveniently down these stairs here, we have more restrooms. So it ties in perfectly with that recharging idea that they had behind this area. And as we make our way out of this area, we transition into another. And as you can see from the sign, welcome to Timber Canyon. And greeting us right off the bat is another Gerstlauer.
Well, the Gerstlauer.
And this one is Mystery Mine. Now this is one of the original Gerstlauers that was installed in the United States. And as such, it kind of started to show its age just a couple of years ago. You can kind of see here, it's kind of hard to make out, but there's a piece of track here that's not actually attached to anything. That once was part of the layout, but as they deemed it just a little bit too rough on the transitions, they actually came in and switched this section around to smooth it out a little bit so it wasn't as jarring. And it really did make a big difference in the ride, in my opinion. It's a fantastic ride. It starts here in this this old creepy mine house. A huge part of the layout at the beginning is all indoors. It's got kind of a dark mine shaft theme going on. And then eventually you exit the indoor part, and there's a large outdoor section here, and then there's another large outdoor section at the finale over here. I don't want to spoil too much more than that. If you want to find out what happens in the indoor parts, you just have to ride it for yourself. But as we exit the canyon area, just for a moment, off to the side here is Wildwood Grove.
This is the newest park expansion. It opened in 2018.
Yes, and the biggest expansion in the history of this park. And as we walk you through, you'll see the scope of it is pretty impressive. You're greeted immediately by a food hall, tons of shaded dining area over here, perfect for a hot day. And then off to the side, you've got a walk-up sweets and treats counter. Also, right off the bat, you see a lovely flat ride, kind of themed to, I guess, what are those, acorns, I would guess?
Yeah.
Treetop Tower. And it actually goes around, and it goes all the way up to the top of that little spire there.
Right there.
On over here, we have the Great Tree Swing. Essentially, it's a Viking ship style ride. And this one, yeah, it's perfect for the kids.
Yeah.
They have to be at least 36 inches tall. Well, that's not a bad minimum height requirement. So a lot of the younger kids can ride the attractions back here in Wildwood Grove. This was actually kind of crafted for the kids. A lot of the theming in this area is very magical, mystical. Think like fairies and butterflies when you think of this area.
And it's not finished yet. This is just one major part of the expansion. If you look to the right, it's pretty much empty land over there.
Yes, and definite plans in the very near future from what we hear. These are just rumors, but we will probably be seeing some more add-ons to this back part of the park.
Absolutely.
Over here we've got the Black Bear Trail. You got your little bear ride, perfect for parents and kids. It's almost a roller coaster, but it's not.
It's an electric rail ride, basically.
So not a credit for you coaster nerds watching, but you probably already knew that if you're a coaster nerd.
Little park to the left here.
This one's fun.
Little kids area, got some music instruments. Got a little river flowing through it. Pretty neat. Got a little gift shop.
Mountain Grove Merchants gift shop.
Yeah, got a little gift shop over here. Get your Wildwood Grove merch. Another kids ride over here. This one featuring frogs. Kind of hop up and down, spin you around. Very kid friendly. Straight ahead, going down the lift hill, is Dragonflyer, the newest Vekoma model. This was built in 2019.
And it is buttery smooth and relatively tame. It's got a little intensity, but great for kids as well. It's not super tall, it doesn't go crazy fast, but it's another step up from some of the other kids coasters that the little ones might have been on. We've also got the Mad Mockingbird Snap Flyers over here. Well, we call them Snap Flyers. They're really just called Flyers, but
Yeah.
We call them snap flyers because we snap them, but those of you kids watching at home, don't even worry about what snapping the flyers means, because most parks don't like you to do that to their rides. We've also got off to the right here, lockers, which a lot of the rides here are okay with you bringing bags on, some aren't. So they always have conveniently located lockers. They have two options as well. You can do a one-use locker for one price. You can pay for a slightly higher fee, a multi-use that'll follow you around the park all day long. You just enter your code in at the different kiosks and it'll move a locker for you to your current location.
Yeah, very convenient.
And like we were talking about before, this is Dragonflyer's entrance here. This is a wonderful, wonderful kids ride. It's super smooth.
And this area is essentially the end of the outlet for now. The only other notable place here is the building over here, which is an indoor kids play area.
And we've got some restrooms and a smoking area off to the left of there as well.
So it's multi-purpose.
This entrance here is where you would go in to enter the kids' play area. It's nice because it's air conditioned, so in those hot days in the summertime, good place to cool off. And if the kids still want to run around, they can run around while you relax. There's tons of benches and what have you in there. A lot of places for the parents to just relax.
Yeah, this is essentially Wildwood Grove at the moment, pending further expansion. Like I said, it's an outlet, so eventually you come to a dead end, but we're gonna zip you back to the main way where Mystery Mine is at.
Yeah, there's only one way in and one way out of here, so you know what? We'll just go ahead and we'll snap you over there right now. In 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Just to orient you, we're back at the front of Wildwood Grove, and we're exiting back towards Mystery Mine here. Since that's kind of a one-way in, one-way out situation, we figured we'd just teleport you to the part where we meet back up with where we came in. So as we talked about earlier, Mystery Mine. Since you might have noticed we haven't actually shown you the entrance, we hadn't gotten there yet. Just past the entrance to Wildwood Grove on your left-hand side, right here, you'll find a set of lockers where you can put all your loose articles, and the entrance to Mystery Mine is right there. As you can see, there they are off in the distance, navigating that final brake run. Quite a fun ride.
A little hanging dive loop. Probably my favorite part of the ride as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some serious hang time there. You're upside down for a hot second.
Now we're pretty much going down the hill. On the other end, going up the hill towards Tennessee Tornado. Now we're going down the hill back towards the front end of the park.
We've got a ride here that requires a little bit of muscle.
A little bit of, yeah.
The lumberjack lifts.
A little bit of physical activity there.
But as you can see, teamwork makes the dream work. The kid is helping dad, and they're getting to the top together. We've got another Dippin' Dot stand, not manned today, but as I said before, don't take seeing empty food stands as a sign that it's always like this. Chances are, if you come on a busier day, you'll see a lot of these manned by actual staff.
Right,
Also
you got the
not
park
currently
drop tower.
operating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not operating at the moment, but we've been on it once. Fun drop tower.
And you are up there, let me tell you.
You can definitely see the majority of the park up there.
Gorgeous view of the Smoky Mountains in general from up there. It's a good drop tower. Now, we come to the kiddie coaster.
Yep.
Whistle Punk Chaser.
This is Zimperla ride built in 2017.
One of the newer additions to the park. Super smooth. The definition of a kid's coaster. You're not going to see anything too crazy. Just thrilling enough for the little ones to enjoy. For a lot of kids in this area especially, this would be their first coaster they ever rode. We all started somewhere. In my case, it was the pony ride that you put a quarter in outside of Rose's back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That was my first thrill ride. Once again, more restrooms off to the left. No shortage of places to make a pit stop. And then as we come around this side here, we come upon the last major coaster to show you all here at Dollywood, and that is Thunderhead.
Yep.
And
Good old GCI.
wow, and good it is. Thunderhead is incredible. This is where you'll find the entrance and the exit. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Thunderhead. If you've ever been on any coaster made by Great Coasters International, this is up there with one of their best. It's fantastic.
Built in 2004 and currently being retracked, so it's a lot smoother.
We just rode earlier and can confirm there's a lot of new wood, and it's running just as good as we've ever remembered it running.
Oh yeah, it's running great. Now if you're tired, this is your favorite part of the park. Well, it's on Twitter there, but because it's all downhill. You got some good theming over here, some nice little woodwork and fencing, and
Some saw blades and
yeah, it's got some
a lot of lumberjack theming around this area here.
nice crafty little items over here.
Wood crafting, yeah. Rough cut shop over here. You've got two branching paths here, but
Yeah, it's
nothing crazy. It's it all leads back the same way. It's just a little island here in the center where actually you'll find some humorous tombstones in this area. It's a little gravestone themed area. We won't read them to you, but if you find yourself in this area, don't just walk past these. Take a look at some of them. There's some pretty good puns thrown in there and some funny wordplay. We'll leave those Easter eggs for you to find. Also in the same theme of that morbid area here, we've got a coffin that you can actually get into and take a picture of yourself inside of a casket. And we get a little bit more lighthearted as we get down this area here. A lot of really cool birdhouses here. right, at the end of this pathway here, we've almost come back full circle. You'll actually see the preferred and bus parking exit here. This is also where you would enter, were you to park in preferred parking or ride one of the Dollywood Resort buses here, which are available if you stay on one of the resorts that are just nearby. We've got some more locker rentals over by here. You've got your ride height measuring center and ride accessibility center here. So this is where you would rent electric wheelchairs and whatnot. Make sure your kids are tall enough to ride certain rides. And then of course, this is actually where you will exit. In true classic theme park option, you do exit through the gift shop here. And this is the largest merchandising place in the entire park. They've got a little bit of everything here. Dollywood themed, Dolly Parton themed, all kinds of great shirts, mugs, hats, you name it. They've got everything here.
Oh yeah.
So just keep in mind, this is where we started. That's the entrance. Down that way, you will find Lightning Rod. And if you were to come in and go to the left, that is the way to get to Thunderhead. And upon entering, you can do your height measuring and ride accessibility just by making a left after the entrance.
But yeah, on that note,
hopefully we've brought you back full circle.
We've come full circle.
And just in time to end with a really, really awesome, looks like a class trip picture is being arranged here at the main entrance photo op area. But yeah, on that note, we are gonna head on out. So thanks for joining us. We're gonna head right out here through the exit. For GP Coasters, I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Mike.
And this has been a Dollywood walkthrough. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and check out some of our other videos. We'll be doing some more walkthroughs in the near future, as well as some vlogs and construction updates. So check out the rest of our channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.